All right, we are back with another Prize Picks video. We're going to be talking NBA today. It is also Taco Tuesday, so going to bring you guys 5 picks to mix and match those with the tacos throughout the day, and hopefully have a really, really profitable day. But if you're new to this channel, we're almost at 2,000 subscribers, so definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We rip out daily videos like this every day. Usually sometimes even multiple a day when we got a lot going on. So yeah, go ahead and subscribe with confidence that you're going to get good content like this each and every day. Leave the video a like so more people can see it, and then comment down below if you hate one of these picks, if you love these picks, or if you're tailing. I'd love to hear you guys in the comments down below. But let's go over the video picks from last time. Tough break today. Really thought after, I was watching this Atlanta game, there was about 8 minutes left, and I was like, okay, cool, we're going to go 5 for 6 with a tough break with Porzingis. But let's jump into exactly what happened. Pirtle had his game that we thought he was going to have. Portland's been giving up a ton of, fantasy points and like points, rebounds, assists like we went for against centers. So thought Pirtle, was close to his lines in the few of those games that he was dealing with foul trouble, and he was able to get there pretty easily. Derek White had this in the second quarter. I will play this line every single time they give it to me. He is a block machine as a guard, and can obviously get those steals in there as well. I think he had 2 steals and 1 block to get us there easily. Trae Young, again, 8 minutes left in the game, he had 22 points. I thought that was going to be a lock in a game that they came back against Minnesota. Ultimately didn't get there for us. I was really surprised when I checked the box score after that one concluded. But that one sucked, missed by 0.5. Those always hurt. Benedict Mathurin, I think he only had 15 points, but another guy that had that 15 with a decent amount of time left on the clock. So not really a full sweat on Benedict, but he got there for us. And then Porzingis, 10 points in the first quarter in a game that they absolutely dominated the Wizards. Didn't end up playing, his whole allotted minutes that he usually gets. And it was kind of the Jalen Brown show, and then Tatum actually got going later in that game as well. But they both had like 33-plus points. And Jalen Brown, once he gets cooking, he just does not pass that ball. So Porzingis did a lot of his damage early, looked really good, but that didn't get there for us, unfortunately. And then Jimmy Butler, a lot of people are mad at him, thinking he works for PrizePicks. I thought that was funny. Someone commented that below. But 13 points on a 16.5 line with no Bam. That just, disappointing. Jimmy Butler really doesn't care about the regular season games that don't matter, but they got to start winning games if they want to make the postseason. Tyler Herro, though, cooking. So let's get into the board here and get you guys the 5 picks. So it looks like the taco up right now is Jusuf Nurkic. About 3 hours left on that one. That one looks really solid. He can get this in limited minutes. I've bet on him in the first quarter for his rebounds sometimes. He can grab 6 or 7 or 8 even in the first quarter. So he should be able to get this, assuming that it's not a blowout and gets the normal amount of minutes. So liking that taco there. And then let's go right into the picks. I'm going to start off with some Knicks players here. Let's go to Mitchell Robinson. Someone I was looking at first half. I will just show you what it looked like with Robinson's going to points, rebounds, assists, or fantasy score. 13.0 looked really good. The game he didn't get there was against Boston, where he had some foul trouble. That is something that I am concerned about. But this Cavs team has been giving up a lot of fantasy points to centers with no Jared Allen in the lineup. And a lot of guys are questionable. Even you have LeVert questionable, Darius Garland's still out. So this isn't that really good defensive team that we usually see. Even Donovan Mitchell's still questionable in that game. So I'm liking both of these. I'll probably play them, in separate slips. But for the video picks, let's go ahead and do just his fantasy score for the whole game. It is 13.0 on his first half, but it's 24.5 for the whole game. So I'm liking that. I think he plays a decent amount of minutes. Again, there's always the foul trouble option, but they play big down there in Cleveland, and I think Mitchell Robinson will get a decent amount of run. So Mitchell Robinson is going to be our first one. And then another guy that we're going to go to in this game, I was looking at Brunson's points line. I'm actually just going to go to his points and assists line because he can, hurt him in both ways at 27.5. We're going over here as well. Again, we talked about this kind of depleted Cleveland team not being that really good defensive team that we've seen. And against the teams that they've played, let's just check out Mobley to see what the teams they've played. But I know Halliburton had a great game against them. Yep, just last game. Shea cooked them. He had like 70 fantasy points, diamond and scoring at will. And then Cam Johnson just has been on fire all season, but he came out really hot to start the season against them in that first game. So all kind of similar-ish players to Brunson, and I think he hasn't had that breakout game just yet, so maybe he has a 30-point night in him tonight. So Brunson and Mitchell are our two Knicks that we're going to go with. Let's go back to Eric Gordon here. If you've been following these videos a lot, we've been taking Eric Gordon with confidence lately, and he's been hitting for us. Looks like his line is now at 16.0. With no Booker and Beal, they're still getting a feel for this line, but looking like they're both not going to play once again. So it's 16.0. I like that for sure. It was just at 16.5 a second ago. So that's something you could think about for sure. But I also think he's kind of getting into this more of a point guard role. I know Goodwin's kind of like takes the most of that point guard role, but Eric Gordon, he's going to handle the ball a decent amount. He's going to be shooting a decent amount. He's a veteran that can pick apart inexperienced defense like the Spurs. So I'm liking his points and assists line at 18.5. That's given us like a 2.5 assist line to work with. But again, I think he can score 20 points tonight pretty easily, and he had 4 assists last game. So if he's turned into more of a point guard with Beal and Booker out, I like that assists and points combo for him. So Eric Gordon, definitely look at his points line specifically if you don't think he's going to be diamond. But that's what we're going to be rocking with. Next, let's go to Keldon Johnson. Another guy that hasn't had that like breakout game just yet. A guy that can score 30 points on his own. I know Wembanyama's now around, and Vassell has been taking a decent amount of shots. But Keldon Johnson's still probably on paper, their top 3 player for sure. But it's kind of him and Vassell is kind of their 1 and 2 best players, and then Wembanyama is still kind of this question mark as if he's going to be consistent throughout the season. But Keldon Johnson, I'm going to go to his points, rebounds, assist line. I've talked about it before. Whenever I see a line like this that I see the player can easily get that with points alone, I like to look it over and attack it. So Keldon Johnson here at 25.5. Again, I think he could get 26 points just by itself. But another one where you could look at his points at 16.5. He's gone over in 2 of the 3 games so far this year. This Clippers game, no one had it going. He shot like 1 of 9 from the field. So just didn't have anything, offensively going. They got crushed, didn't get his full minutes. So definitely look at that points line if that's something you think is more valuable here. But Keldon Johnson, also a guy that can grab some boards. I know, again, Wembanyama and Zach Collins are down there gobbling up a few of these, but he had 9 against Dallas, 4 against Houston, and 5 against the Clips. So liking that as well. And then in a game that we haven't seen him, or I guess against the Clippers, they didn't really have anything going. It's not showing his assist line, so we will jump over to Outlier here real quick and just check out what he's done in terms of assists. Keldon Johnson. Let's go to his assists. He looks like they got him at 3.5, and it's decent money to go, or minus 110 to go over that as well. So I'm kind of just liking all of his lines, which is why I'm going to do the combo here. And also, whenever you look at combos, you could look at fantasy score, but Keldon Johnson, not a guy that's going to go out and grab, 3 blocks, 2 steals, or anything like that. He's very offensive minded here, and you don't have to worry about turnovers with this line. So 25.5 points, rebounds, assists for Keldon Johnson. And then last but not least, let's go to Kawhi. Not just because he has this funny Joker face for Halloween. Happy Halloween, everyone, by the way. But I think he has a good game. Another one, this 34.5. He could do that by itself with points. I was really liking his assist line at 5.5. It did get bumped to 6. His assist line? I meant his rebounds line at 5.5. It get bumped to 6. His assist line is at 4.0. He's hit that and more in every single one of these games. And a lot of the projection models and me personally think that with this big trade happening, James Harden is now going to be on the Clippers along with PJ Tucker. But a lot of small forwards just went out in that deal. We had Markieff Morris go out in that deal. We had Martin go out in that deal. We had pretty much every single player they traded was a small forward. So their depth at that position for him and Paul George, I think Kawhi has to play a lot of minutes even if he doesn't want to. So I'm liking this spot. Again, if he's got to get a decent amount of, maybe even more than a typical workload here, he could get that 34.5 point line just by itself. But with the rebounds and assists also looking good, I'm liking the combo there as well. So let's go ahead and add Nurkic just because we got the taco up right here. And that will be our 6 picks. And let's just review them real quick. we got Mitchell Robinson at 24.5 fantasy score. I will bring up Mobley once again just to kind of show you who the teams they've played. Yeah, so we saw Miles Turner have a great game. Chet had an excellent game. That's definitely his best game of his young career against this Cleveland team. And then Claxton, before he got hurt, played in that one, and he had an efficient game too. So all three centers played really, really good against this Cleveland team. Obviously, no Jarrett Allen down there, so that's a big reason for it. So Mitchell Robinson, 24.5 fantasy score. Jalen Brunson at 27.5 fantasy score. We also talked about Shea having a great game. We saw Halliburton have a great game. And Cam Thomas scored at will against that team. So maybe Brunson has that breakout day today. So both those Knicks are going over their lines. Eric Gordon with still no Booker and Beal. 18.5 points and assists. Gonna like that. He did a little bit more facilitating in the second game without those guys. Had 4 assists, so liking that little combo there with the points and assists. But definitely, more of a scorer if you're looking at that 16.0 line. But we're doing the combo here. Keldon Johnson, 25.5 points, rebounds, assists. We just talked about him. Has that scoring potential to get there by himself. So really liking the combo there as well as a guy that can rip down some boards and definitely get some assists. And then Kawhi Leonard, same boat, a guy that could get to this line by himself, 34.5. Could see, even more of an uptick in playing time with the big trade happening. A lot of forwards going out to the 76ers. And then let's throw in the taco for Nurkic down here with confidence. But I'm going to probably do this, combo this with a few different picks. So let's go in and do that 5. Let's go place this entry, 20 for 500. That'll be successful. And yeah, so hopefully we have a fun day. 3 games tonight. So not the most busy night in terms of sports. I think there's still an MLB game tonight, if I'm not mistaken. So that should be fun. Game 4 of the World Series. I'm not sure if I'll have a video out for that, but if I find the time, I definitely will. And yeah, that should do it. Hopefully make some money tonight, guys. Happy Halloween, and peace out.